Back at you. I know on Sunday we was doing that Man Up meeting, and the meeting got so intense, man. It was so raw and so, like, you know, from the heart. I just had to, like, keep it down low. I mean, some of these things, sometimes when you be getting, like, honest expression of what's going on with this movement or anything. I mean, remember our movement, the Stronger Than Drugs Urban Spirit Martial Arts movement, is an elevation of hip-hop, martial mix, and hip-hop and martial mix are intertwined. They both came at that beginning in the hood. That was that imitation of Bruce Lee and all that stuff. We was coming out to movie theaters and doing all the flips and everything, you know what I'm saying? And then through the drugs and all the violence, that's where street combat came about. You know, that was that natural elevation of street combat. That's what we was doing. Street combat, gun wars, drug wars, you know, I done seen it all, man. I've been right there in the hood and I was one of the guys shooting a gun while the little kids were playing on the playground. I mean, my first gun, believe it or not, that I own myself, I found at the shootout and police running all over the place. So I laughed when I heard all these stories that people be talking about in the magazines about real combat, you know. It was one article where a guy was talking about, he said, you know, anybody that could do acrobatical flips and good kung fu, that don't make him a real combative artist. Well, guess what? In the trenches of really being that enemy or that predator, you can't teach somebody how to be a monster. You can teach them how to, your assumption on what to deal with the monster. But you know what? The greatest thing that you can do, what I believe, I mean, because I'm not saying those things won't work, but the real way to learn how to deal with a killer or deal with a drug addict or deal with a warrior, you got to deal with a warrior that can, like, change their lives. He can tell you what they did in the trenches. That's how the Gusling game got mixed up, because people started really telling the police what was going on. But now I'm bringing something different, man. Because I was kicking and I was beating people up in the hood. I was doing kung fu to people in the hood. I was doing whatever it takes. Snake, tiger, cream, whatever. Yeah, you know, wrestling, doing it all. So be careful what you say, man, because you don't know. I ain't been to where you've been to, so I ain't gonna say what you don't know how to do, but I know I can deal with these inner city streets. I know I can deal with it. I done been from poverty stricken, I done been under the jail, I done been everywhere that you could possibly imagine, in hell and back. The last thing I want to do is promote it and try to brag about it, because any real warrior that been through that hell don't want to be reminded of it. It's about peace, man. So like I said, you know, that's how that elevation happened. You know, check my resume. Because when you really listen to my instructor, like he tell you, bam. Or you was one of those people who had to take your natural talents and use those until you got like formal instruction, right? Yep. I wanted martial arts so bad, all I can do is flip. And you talking about flipping, well, guess what? Flipping is still what keeps kids out of the hood. Flipping on pissy mattresses, it don't make you a weakling. Flipping it on pissy mattresses and singing music is a way to express yourself in a non-violent way. Everybody's stupid. You supposed to know what the gangs are doing. Stay out of trouble. You sitting there saying it ain't practical. How stupid is that? What part of war strategy for the inner city streets did you learn? And the inner city streets is nothing but the suburbs. So you see people being shot up and beat up. Come on, man, close the cultural gap. Stop trying to work on your ego and ease God out and try to be in charge and criticize people in order to, like, get where you're trying to get to. Stop you. You know, so we talked about that elevation, that natural elevation of hip-hop, you know, and you gotta remember this, man. What did hip-hop come from? Where do you think hip-hop came from? That's my son back there, you know what I'm saying? It's just like when I first opened my school, he had no money. I didn't have no money, and I was driving around with my son Marco and my daughter Naila, who both work in the school. Now my little son, Messiah, he in the back. We on a venture going back to Baltimore to set up a martial mix program. Got my little man back there. Yeah! Yeah! That's my man. See, you know what I'm saying? Talk about that, about the brothers. Stop talking about the bad things we do. talk about these things, man. You know, I mean, I just laugh, but hey, you don't worry about nobody talking about it because you ain't doing it for no recognition. So nobody have to recognize me stepping up. We call this video Man Up. Man, see, that's how me and my son communicate. Say it again. What? What? Talk to me. So, you know, it's just like, I just want us to think about something. See, I came up at a time where my mom would break a branch off the tree and whip me up. I would go to school, they would whip me up. I had fear about my dad. My dad ain't trying to discuss, you know, how he was gonna raise me, or nobody else even got involved in what my dad was doing to raise me. He just talking, man, that's it. What? He talking. I tell you, bruh, don't make no excuses. You can make anything happen with anything the Creator put in your way. Yeah. I love it, man. Who'd ever thought that I'd have came home, went through all the struggles, came home from jail, trying to make my career happen, prime of my career, and had to take custody of my first son, Marco. And now look at us. Now I got another little son, Messiah. You know, but now me and his mom, he got a whole support system. You gotta break the cycle. That's what all this is about. Even street combat is about educating you to break the cycle, not to reinforce the cycle. So if you learn in street combat to go out there so you can like try it on somebody, bro, I'm gonna tell you, I don't care how many gun tactics you know, ain't gonna happen like that. And ain't gonna go like they should. Do you realize something? When I first came home from jail, and I moved to the suburbs, I couldn't sleep. You know why? Because I ain't heard no ambulance and no gunshots. I was used to the violence. I came up all my life hearing shot. At the age of 8, you know what I did? You want to talk about awareness of violence? Well, my dad used to make me carry the shotgun so the police wouldn't do nothing to him. I was in bars and whatever you could possibly imagine. And when something broke off, he said, "Come here, son," and I give him the gun. Come on, man. Don't say what ain't practical, because whatever's art is real, because it comes from something that's real. Even street combat, any type of combat, it was driven from some pain and some anguish. But you can't keep living in the pain. If you're trying to promote all the violence, even in UFC, I ain't got nothing against it. You know, you got guys on video talking about the UFC, the money and the bling. Come on, how much different is that than what the guys doing in the rap lyrics, in the rap music? How different is that than what they doing in the rap stuff? You ain't gonna never fake me out again. I've been there. I've been to hell. I done seen the mountaintop, and that's seeing stuff with my third eye. You ain't gonna fake me out. What's so sad? Why brother had to go to jail to learn the truth instead of being out here on the street. When I was running wild, you want to talk all that? When the brother was running wild, where was somebody had to help me through the struggle? Huh? Where were y'all at then? You cut off all the programs in the hood? You made a brother have to fend for himself. Where were you at when my mom was on welfare and she was handicapped and y'all was treating her like she wasn't nothing? Where was y'all at then? Huh? I had to man up at a young age. Don't even try to tell me that I don't know. You don't even know where I've been to. Care what you do on TV or what you do in the magazine. I need no applause. And I don't need nobody to like sanction what I do. Because guess what? I had to learn how to do it myself, bruh. Everything that you say is supposed to be right. The problem that you got with the teens today is that they've realized they got to the other side. They said, hold up, man. They was lying all this time. And then what real man up is that you got to decide for yourself on a conscious level. Am I still going like keep doing what I was doing? Am I going to be pissed off and pay revenge? Or I'm going to step up and become righteous and try to bring about change? Well, that's what jail did for me. You know? When I was in the jail cell, you want to know what helped me? Rap music, Poor Righteous Teachers, Cool Mo D, Gangstar. It was listening to them CDs that was conscious, self-destruction, all that. KRS-One, the blueprint to hip-hop.